Okay, so what a great moment this afternoon. Thank you for inviting me, first of all, and just been an awesome experience, and I've just been living through my experiences over the past so many years that I have been associated with Toastmasters in many ways. And first of all, just want to say, I live and die by a couple of statements, and I saw both of those in action today. That is, do what you like and like what you do. And what gets measured gets done. And I saw a lot of that evident today with the earlier team, and I'm hoping that the present team under you will be able to take that momentum forward. Just the fact that you are continuing to gather this momentum, build on it, and create a culture where people are coming in and participating will be good for all of us in the long run. That said, I just wanted to make sure I congratulate the new team. All the very best to you, and a big round of applause for our team that's moving away. Well done. So, probably take about 30 seconds to talk about my journey in Toastmasters. I joined Toastmasters in 1993, and it was like somebody went and you had a cooking experience or something like that, and you got invited. I got invited by a friend of mine, Toastmaster Menon, who happens to live in Bangalore as well, and he's also a distinguished Toastmaster. He came in and said, "Hey, they always serve great food. Why don't you just come with me?" So, but he said the only caveat is you wear a jacket and come. So I said okay, and I went. And then, to my luck, that day in Abu Dhabi was the defense minister is Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed, who was the chief guest. And then it was an installation ceremony like today, and it was introduced to him, and then we started talking for a few minutes. And then all of a sudden he said, "You should join." And then the next thing he went on stage and said, "As you install this team, you have a new member that's already joining," and he just made my decision so much easy. He didn't give me a chance to say yes or no. And there began my journey with Toastmasters. I mean, deeply, deeply indebted to this organization. I have learned a lot. Just the fact that you don't say the ahs and the oohs as you're talking is a testament to how comfortable you are. And I watched you speak. There's so much of eloquence in the way you come across, and so much of ease in your choice of words. All those things matter as you grow up in your careers. These are things that really matter when you stand in front of an executive team and you're presenting. You don't want those pregnant pauses, you don't want those hours, you don't want those thoughts coming in, going out, and creating a scattered atmosphere, because you want to be flowing with the story as you're talking. And those are things that really matter as you come along this journey. So, well done, and thank you again. So that was my initiation into Toastmasters. And then jumping back in, topic for today, we're talking about thought leadership. So it's thought leadership is a very wide topic. I mean, there are so many interpretations to the topic. There are so many opportunities to discuss, and there are so many YouTube and TEDx videos on this and everything else. My interpretation of thought leadership is very simple. As a person, as a human being, every one of us has a certain amount of thought, a certain amount of opinions, a certain amount of leadership in us. The ability to bring all of this together is what translates into becoming thought leaders as we go along this. This is not a one-trick pony. This is not something that you can generate overnight or just transform yourself into a thought leader overnight. This is always a journey. More so in the context of the IT industry, which we are all a part of. And I'm sure many of you are from different lines of businesses here. How many of you are from product development here? Okay. From support? Consulting? So there you go. And then any other lines of businesses present here? Any GBUs? Marketing. Okay, so there you go. So part of our process working in IT organizations such as this that are so diverse with multiple lines of businesses is we get exposed to a variety of business models. And then we get into a line of business, we start working within that framework, and we start becoming better and better at that, and then we become experts. Over a period of time, what happens is that expertise tends to start branding us as subject matter experts. Now, hold this thought. Because the next thing you do is then you start thinking, am I a thought leader in this space? There's a very clear distinction between being a subject matter expert and being a thought leader. The subject matter expert is present continuous in grammatical terms. The thought leader is futuristic. So what are you doing? So when we go in, I'm from the consulting organization, but I can resonate with the other LOBs too. When we go in and we talk to our customers, telling them what is working well today and what is not working well today is stating the obvious, because they know it for a large part. Why do they rely on organizations like us, and more so individuals like each one of you in this room and me? Is because we have to bring in that one bit that is really the gap and the missing link in the room, which is telling them what we're going to do to make a difference to them as an organization, to make a difference to their people, to make a difference to their systems and processes, and where will they be 5 years from now? Not just they as an organization, but where will they be in the industry? Where will their industry be 5 years from now? And will our product, and will we as a team that is going in to get them to that next level, be able to still facilitate and make them relevant 5 years from now when the industry is evolving? That is thought leadership. Talking about how well systems are working today is an SME. Does it make sense? Yeah, so there are several schools of thought around thought leadership, and there are a few important things that I learned along the way as well. And one of them was, you saw the slide earlier about Harsha Nagaraj. Despite all the odds that he came about and is what he is today and is able to perform and live the life to fullest and beyond. You're watching another standing example. In '87, I was driving for MRF in the Himalayan Rally, and we had a fall into a ditch about 350 feet. Next thing I know, I woke up in a hospital, both my legs broken, my shoulder broken, my skull cracked, and I lost this finger. All in a matter of minutes. And that was, I thought, pretty much the end of everything that I had to do. But then I was flown back into Delhi and then back to Bangalore and went through rehab at a hospital here for several months. And then when you talk about building confidence, getting you back on your feet, all of those terms are often used in the industry, right? Get back on your feet, do the right thing. And I owe this to my father because on the day of the discharge, we finished all the formalities and I was able to walk because I didn't want to get out, so I was able to walk. So we came out and I was thinking the car will be there to take me home, but he gave me a small little gift and said that this is for you as you're walking out of the hospital. And I opened it and inside was a key to a bike. He said, I am not taking you home. You are coming home on your own on the bike. So you can imagine, after 6 months of rehab, not even walked a step other than the 10-20 steps in the hospital corridor. He's asking me to ride a bike back home. It's a brand new bike parked in the hospital. He gives me the keys and says, get home. I'll see you at home. So what did that do to me? It said, if this guy can have so much faith in me, and he's thinking so much ahead about where I can go, I need to learn from that. And I can't let him down. Thought leadership is about seeing the future. My dad saw that in me and said, this guy can rebuild himself. The only way is to do it baptism by fire. Let him loose. So I went home. I really struggled riding. I love riding, but it was the toughest ride I've had in my life. But just to give you all an example, confidence is one of the biggest ingredients as you start going down this path of becoming thought leaders. Confidence in yourself, confidence in your abilities, and confidence in making sure that when you say 10 things, people are able to articulate those 10 things to 20 other people so that the process of migration of the thought is continuous as it goes down its journey. That's the whole purpose of being a thought leader. Just talking about thought leadership, me talking to you or 10 other people, and that whole thought resonating within this room and not percolating down does not really add value. It's not serving its purpose. We have to make sure we are able to talk with confidence. We are able to talk sense in a way that people understand and appreciate. And that thought percolates down, say, hey, I heard this. Maybe this is right. Let's talk a little bit more about it. So, with that, there are a couple of other important things that I really talk about. So I talked about the subject matter expert thing. There are two important traits that thought leadership really needs to be focusing on, or thought leadership revolves around these two pieces. One is vulnerability. Thought leadership, thought leaders and thought leadership does not augur very well when a person that claims himself or herself to be a thought leader suddenly is not vulnerable at all. Being vulnerable is extremely important. And the reason I say that is because the ability to say no, the ability to say something is not right without having the fear of consequences. Thought leadership comes with a free mind, a mind to express your self, your belief, and what you think and see. As long as you're able to do that, you're fine. If you're bound by constraints within frameworks and are always reacting or resonating to what four other people might think if I say this, or what might be the consequences of me saying something else, then we have a different problem. So one thing that you need to constantly maintain is be vulnerable. Make sure that you are always willing to speak your minds. There are certain constraints. You just can't be abrupt and abrasive about speaking your mind as well. But that doesn't mean you can't be vulnerable. It's always good to be natural and express your thoughts and feelings. Thought leadership also has another important piece to it, which is making sure your integrity levels are at their best. Because thought leadership comes with a certain belief. It could be a product, it could be a concept, it could be a design, it could be anything in this broad spectrum. Fact of the matter is, you are investing in that and making sure that you're trying to preach that whole idea to 50 other people, so people start looking up to you and saying, yeah, this may be something viable. That needs to be backed with a tremendous amount of integrity. Integrity in yourself, integrity in what you're trying to communicate. Both of these things are extremely important. So when you're talking about practicing vulnerability, practicing very high levels of integrity, those are the cornerstones based on which your careers are built, and people really evolve into larger roles in the organizations and then are able to grow their businesses, grow their lines of businesses, grow their teams, and make a difference to the larger society. So when you're talking about these kind of things, earlier somebody talked about an important glue that bonds all of this together. And what is that? That's our ability to listen. This came up and I was really cheering for that person within me, because who was it that talked about listening? Yeah, there you go. Perfect, thank you. So, listening is an art. Especially when you're talking to customers, when you're talking to client, prospects, wherever you are, you're talking to your children, you're talking to your spouse. She said she always listens, her husband listens to her. Is that what you said? Or is it the other way around? Because in my house it's the other way around. So my wife does the talking, I do the listening. So that's why I talk a lot here, so I don't get a chance at home. No, seriously, listening is such an important virtue. In every single role that you perform, it doesn't have to be limited to what we do within consulting or product development or whatever. Wherever you are, the ability to give 2 minutes of your time, undivided attention to somebody, conveys two important things. One is you're listening and you're paying attention and you're giving them respect. So there are a lot of things that we really want to make sure that we are addressing as a part of this thought leadership journey. I mean, in the interest of time, there's, like I said, leadership is an art and a science. The science is really the protocols that you really look at and the books that teach you everything. The art is really going with your gut, and that's vulnerability and integrity. So I want to wish this club the very best. I wish I had more time. We can exchange a lot more ideas, but I promise to come back. I was invited for the 600th meeting and I couldn't make it. I was traveling. In fact, I'm leaving Sunday again, so this timing worked out perfectly. But I will definitely make sure I participate more. You have my word. And we will make sure that we make it bigger and brighter. Thank you, everybody, and all the best.